Hi everybody, this is Amy Blue. I am doing this video because I had an assignment where I had to draw myself as a character, basically. Show off my style, how I dressed, and I turned it into sort of a what's in my bag artist meme thing. So I figured this was a good chance to introduce myself to the channel, since most of the talking I've done has been on live streams and such. And speaking of talking, my voice sounds a little weird because I'm just a little bit sick. So anyway, let me tell you a bit about myself. I'm an artist and a world builder, obviously. I do a lot of stories with the worlds that I mess around with. I roleplay sometimes with a friend, but I'm really picky with roleplay, so I don't do it a lot with pretty much anyone else. I want to become a game designer when I get older. I'm actually working on 2 games right now. One is a personal project, and the other one is a project that I'm helping someone else with. You might see some of that stuff pop up on the channel eventually. Another thing I do is I use polymer clay and I do sculpts. The biggest ones I've done in the past couple months have been a Paolumu from Monster Hunter World, which is about 8 inches tall. I think it might be a foot. I've done an original creature that I drew specifically to sculpt. I also do small charms in clay sometimes, like pies and some other things. I'm kind of still exploring what I like doing with clay, and I'm messing around with resin. I like crafting a lot, just in general. I'm a very crafty person. I am also disabled and chronically ill. I have a condition called chronic functional abdominal pain syndrome, which spells out CFAPS, which is great. It's a great name for a condition. And it basically means that my stomach is in pain, and the doctors do not know why specifically, but they can't find anything structurally wrong. They just know that it's hurting. So it's all management. I am in pain all the time. I've gotten to a point where I can sit up and do the things that I really want to do, even though I can't do some other things. Like, I can't walk very far. I have to use a wheelchair. I do like using my scooter more than I like using the wheelchair, because the scooter, I have more control over where I'm going and when I move and stop, and when someone else is pushing my wheelchair, I don't have that kind of control, and it can get kind of annoying. I also have gastroparesis, which is kind of a rare condition. It's a condition where you don't digest your food very quickly, so you end up throwing it up if you don't eat correctly. So I am on a very strict diet that's low fiber, low fat, low residue, which basically means I can't eat anything with a skin on it. The only meat I can eat is fish and poultry, basically. I can eat ground beef, but I usually just stick to ground turkey because that's just easier. I can't eat lettuce at all, or any veggies that have any sort of strings in them, or basically anything that isn't super soft when it's cooked. It's a very annoying diet. I am an oriented ace arrow, which means that I am asexual and aromantic, but I still like girls, basically. I am a lesbian. I'm also gender fluid, which basically means that some days I feel like a girl, some days I feel like I don't have a gender, and other days I feel like a guy. That's why I kind of just go by any pronoun, but usually people, once they hear my voice, go by she. but I don't really care. Any of them feels right to me. Asexual means that I don't feel sexual attraction. I don't want to have sex. I know that some asexual people will have sex or want to have sex. It just means that it's being asexual is not dependent on you not wanting to have sex. It's dependent on whether you look at someone and go, yeah, I want to fuck them. And aromantic is kind of the same way. Like, it's dependent. You can want to be in a relationship with a person, but it's just dependent on you looking at someone and being like, yes, I want to be in a romantic relationship. I like romance when it doesn't involve me. Otherwise, I kind of get uncomfortable. So that's my queer self. I guess I'll talk about a little bit how I dress, since that's sort of the focus of this illustration. Most of the time, I dress in my pajamas, which are usually a mix of some really loose men's pajama pants and a t-shirt, and they're usually way too large for me, which I like because I can hike them up if it gets too hot. I wear a lot of clothes that are too big for me, and I am fat, so it's hard to find clothes that are too big for me, even though that's like my favorite thing, and it's really disappointing. I usually wear my pajamas because I'm mostly at home, and the less laundry, the better. When I dress up and when I'm going out, I usually wear leggings and a t-shirt. I like bright colors. I try to match my leggings and my t-shirts very well. Some of them, sometimes I just don't care, and you'll see me going out with like some crazy ass shirt and crazy ass leggings. I like flowers a lot, so I have a lot of leggings that have flowers on them. A lot of my shirts are pretty plain because I wear mostly these leggings because they don't squish my stomach at all, which is nice because it means I don't feel sick when I have to like bend over or sit because I sit in a wheelchair half the time I go out, so it's like don't want to have jean buttons digging into my stomach. I have kind of an asymmetrical haircut. I wore my hair long for so long. For so much of my life, I had my hair just long because I was afraid to do anything to it. And I finally got it cut so that the right side is longer than the left side. And I got to a point where the left side is almost like shaved down, like it's really short. And the right side just comes to my chin. And I've enjoyed that, having short hair. It's a lot easier, and it's really useful because I don't have to bother with it if I have a flare and throw up. It's also a lot easier to wash in the shower, showers can be a chore when it's hard to stand for extended periods of time. So I'll talk a little bit about what's in my bag, since I show that. I have different medications that I keep on me at all times. Usually my nausea medicine that helps me not throw up. And then I have 2 different types of anxiety medicine that I use. Because I have panic attacks out of nowhere. I have earplugs for when I go to places that are too loud. I get overwhelmed audibly very easily. I have earphones, but I don't really like them because I don't like the way that earphones feel in my ears, so I usually don't use them, which is why they're still drawn in that little like Apple case they come in. I have my Queasies, which is basically like a stick with essential oils in it that is shockingly good at relieving nausea. I've had other people use it before. They give this to you. The reason I found out about this was because after I had gallbladder surgery, I had my gallbladder removed. They gave me this, they knew I had really bad nausea, and they gave me this little packet that had Queasies in it, and they use it after surgeries for nausea. And they said that I could get it online pretty easily. This one, I think it costs like $23 on Amazon, but I've had it for 4 years now, and the smell is still really strong. And I use it all the time because it helps so much. Even if I just have a little bit of nausea and I don't really want to take, or I've already taken my nausea medicine, then I can use that. I have my glasses and my sunglasses. I have a very weak prescription, like super weak. I mostly need it for seeing things that are far away, like if I go to a movie or if I'm in the car and I like to read the signs, I have to put them on. I have a medical bag in case I start throwing up. I got it from my gastro. They gave it to me after I threw up in the doctor's office, and I kept it. No, this isn't the one I used. This was a fresh one. They gave it to me as I was leaving because they were worried I was going to throw up in the car or something. I didn't, and I keep it in my purse just in case I do throw up. I haven't had to get a new one yet because usually I'm pretty good at telling when I'm going to throw up or not. I have hand sanitizer because I can wash my hands in the bathroom, but it still doesn't feel clean to me, so I use hand sanitizer, and I also use hand sanitizer if I touch something that I don't like. I have OCD, which is also the reason you see band-aids on my thumbs, because of my OCD, I have something called dermatillomania, which means I pick at my skin. And it's very unpleasant, and I put band-aids on my thumbs so that I don't mess with them. And I'm working on replacing the picking with tapping instead, and it is helping. I actually forgot to draw my wipes in here. I always have a small pack of wipes because I hate my hands getting sticky. I hate it so much. I always take my planner with me if I'm going somewhere, and then my planner has a pen that I hook on it. My travel notebook is kind of it's less of like a diary and more like I had a creative idea, I need to write it down somewhere, I'm gonna forget it. There's like lined paper and grid paper and then blank paper in there that I play around with. So there's like a lot of doodles and graphs and, well, not graphs, more like diagrams and just writing in general. And then, of course, my wallet. And then on my purse, you can actually see 2 little keychains, which is a Slime Rancher key and a tiny Master Ball, because I love Pokemon and Slime Rancher. Yay. Slime Rancher is one of my favorite games ever made. I play video games a lot, mostly gentle stuff. I don't really like shooters or like stuff that has a lot of blood in it. I'm very bad at horror games. I scream a lot. I think that's a good overview of who I am. I'm a big ol' queer disabled mess. I love art. I love making art and worlds for that art and art for those worlds. I hope you enjoyed this, although I don't know how enjoyable listening to me ramble over me doodling is. But I hope you enjoyed it either way. I'm going to start trying to post more regularly, and I'll try to have a video up every Wednesday, and we'll see how that works out. It might just be like some doodles, or it might be a full piece, but I'd like to try and do full pieces, or at least like full flat colors. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you all have a lovely day. I will see you next time.